So I really love that you're all here and that I see you. I've talked to some of you on the phone, and some of you are meet here for the first time, and there's been some action on our hub, which is great, but it's always good to see you face to face. So that's really, really great. And I want to welcome you all to this session, our supported course, which means that you're still doing your content in your own time, but we're supporting you with the Q&A sessions, and we can have a bit of a discussion, hopefully get to know each other, and really sort of make the most out of this study group. So maybe you can even form a study group with someone and say, hey, let's do this together. And that might be a little bit easier. Someone saying here in the chat, I'm currently on public transport, so I'm able to talk. Yeah, just listen. That's fine as well. Just listen in. That's okay. So the purpose of today is mainly to get to know each other. So I want to welcome you. You get to know me, I get to know you, and you get to know a little bit the platform and the way that this course is intended to work best. So I'll give you a few hints and tips. And I don't know, Daniel, do you want to say your hello now?
Well, hello from my side. Hello, everybody. It's great to see you, and it's great to see such a big class again and having like 25 people doing this course. And maybe not all 25 people are coming today, but this is a new format. So you're the first group that is having this benefit of a live designer course and still paying just the amount of our self-paced course that we had before. So before we were charging for that the live fee. So so much better, I think, is this structure now, where you actually can come into these Q&A sessions and ask your questions here. If you like that community feeling, and as well, it puts a structure on. Yeah, so it means, you know, now this week I do that, next week I do that, the following week I do that. And a lot of people like to have a little bit of this push of doing the bits and pieces. And with this Q&A sessions really help with that. And it's as well good to connect and to see. I don't know if you do that later, Julia, but one thing that we normally did as well is that we actually change our name in our tabs. Okay, it's coming later, because then you may be realizing somebody is actually in the village next to you, and you can actually then say, hey, let's meet up, let's build a study group. Or if you know people that should do this course as well, but haven't signed up yet, maybe reach out to them and let them join this as well, because it's always better to work with a study, like in a study group, and having people and discuss it. The best learning comes by teaching somebody what you want to learn. Yeah, so when you're actually learning and then you understand something faster than the other one, and now you're teaching it, then it hones it in even more. This is the reason why study groups are so great. And that's the reason we're having this online platform as well with the group, where you can ask questions. Don't just wait for us to answer it. You can as well answer the questions between each other. Yeah, and building this community, building this like group of people that want to be a part of the climate solution and not of the climate problem, and making this world a better place. So that's a little bit my introduction from me. And yeah, great to have you here.
Thank you, Daniel. Great to have the inspiration there as well. So yeah, lovely to see you all. So what's going to happen today? I'm going to do a short presentation, a little bit of an introduction, and then afterwards I'll show you a little bit around the platform as well. So if someone has some questions about the platform itself, then that's a good day today. And then we're starting with our Q&A for the modules next week. But let me share my screen with you and let me go through a few things for the beginning. Yeah, so again, welcome to the Certified Passivhaus Designer course. This today is a little welcome session to say a big hello to everyone. Now this should be going, yeah, good. Big hello to everyone. Welcome to this course. And I also want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing Smart Plus Academy, for trusting us, for trusting your learning to us. And I hope you are excited as I always am, welcoming a new group, getting to know new people. I hope you feel that excitement as well. And I just wanted to let you know that we are here to provide and support. So there's always someone in the background that will help you. Is it a question to the material? You can always ask me. If it's something that has to do with your account, you can always ask Nala. She will say a quick hello later as well. So our support team. So there's always someone there to help you. So please, with any questions, contact our support at smartbussacademy.com, and that will always be directed into the right hands to answer your questions. Now, another question I have for you, I don't know if you've thought about that. Why are we here? And we, I mean, not just us and you. So why is this community here? And it's because we care. Daniel already said we want to be part of the climate solution, not the climate problem. And that's really why everyone's here, I guess. And we want to design healthy buildings that are sustainable and affordable. That's exactly what Passivhaus is doing. And there may be a bit of confusion on how to do this. Yeah, so you might feel like you're in this little mess here. Information's a bit tangled up, and we want to clear that up. We want to make that easier for you. We want to empower you and untangle the information that you may already have on high-performing buildings, because I guess most of you have a background in building and architecture and have heard a few things, but we will make things a lot clearer for you, and you will have these moments where you go, aha, yeah, now I understand how everything comes together. So that's our next image here. It comes together like puzzle pieces, yeah? So this course is more than just a Passivhaus designer course. You will experience how your current understanding and knowledge will come together with the knowledge that we will teach you like a puzzle piece. And in the end, you have a full picture, and you will understand and see buildings in a very different way. Now I want to go a little bit into what we're going to learn. You may have looked into your account already, so you can obviously already always go ahead and have a look at it. That's the beauty of the recordings. You can do it in your own pace, but these are the 6 modules that we have. The first one is your opaque building envelope. So we're focusing on that in our first module. We learn to calculate the thermal performance of walls, roofs, and floors. And we're also already looking at mold and moisture and how to avoid it. Yeah, so that first module is a very intense one, because we are starting to get into the thinking of Passivhaus. There's a lot new vocabulary. We're starting with formula. So the first one is quite intense, but you will see it makes so much sense once you've gone through it. Then our second one is our window module. So we learn about thermal bridges and how to avoid them. And then we discover the importance of windows in the building envelope. Then our module 3 is our ventilation module. So we're focusing then. So we've then completed the thermal envelope, and then we are seeing how we need to ventilate it. So we're looking at focusing on the role of ventilation. We're learning how to design, size, and commission HRV systems, and we're explaining the difference between an HRV and an ERV. Then our module 4 is about conditioning. So once we know now how to build our house, we need to learn how to condition it, because there's still some energy that we can use to heat or cool our buildings. And that's what we're learning in our module 4, heating and cooling. And we discover why even in hot climates like Sydney, we still design for the cold season. Then our module 5 is all about economics. So here we're diving into the fundamentals of making Passivhaus work financially. And we're looking here into different scales, big blocks, tiny houses, and we're learning how to calculate if something like a Passivhaus is profitable. And then our last module is our retrofit module, where we're diving into how we're applying all what we've learned onto existing stock. Is a really good module to recap everything, but we're applying it onto a new situation. Good, so that's a bit of an overview over the course modules. And every Q&A, we will only look at one of those modules. So please limit your questions to only that module. So if it's a Q&A for module 1, please only ask question for module 1. Otherwise, it's probably going to get a bit too much. Good, so this is your little program, your study plan. So we are today here on the live session. Yeah, so thank you for joining this one. Next Monday, we're starting with module 1. So please keep in mind that all sessions commence at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's Sydney time. For me here in Perth, it's only 3:10 now in the afternoon, but please keep that in mind. Please prepare for the session by watching the appropriate module. So please always watch that module in front of it. That makes most sense, and you will get the most learning out of that if you've done that. Ideally, do your homework and exercise as well, because that really strengthens your understanding, and there might be a few questions coming up as well for that Q&A session. If you can, please send in your questions to support@smartbussacademy.com. by Sunday night. That makes it possible for me to prepare for them a bit. We can take some spontaneous questions, no problem. But if you already have questions, then A, you don't forget them, and B, I know roughly what to prepare for, and there might be a few similar questions, so we can really talk about that topic a little bit in depth. So I would appreciate that. Thank you. Good, then the designer course is not finished by these Q&A sessions. You then have your exam coming up. So we have a mandatory exam prep session that is on the 18th of March. If you want to follow that program and you're ready by the end, you will be ready by the end of that. Then we have that setup, the trial exam and software setup on the Monday, the 18th. We have 2 sessions, 9 a.m. or 6 p.m., which we will talk about that a bit later, how you're signing up for the exam. And you have to participate in that in order to do the exam, because we need to get your machines ready for the exam. And you can also there ask your last questions before the exam. And the exam date is then on the Thursday in that week, the 21st of March. And that will be when you sort of finish up with your whole course, and you could be a certified Passivhaus designer after that exam then. Then a little disclaimer here, educational content only. So this course was put together by us with lots of care. Still, there may be some mistakes. Always be critical, ask questions. You know, that's, I think you are doing that already beautifully, like asking questions and trying to understand things the right way. And also, we're teaching here the basics of Passivhaus, but every project is different. So you will be working on a project that's completely different to someone else's project, and we cannot cover all ifs and whens in this course. Yeah, so your circumstances may need different approaches, and in this course we can only give general information, but you will get such a good understanding that you can apply this knowledge to your project. Yeah, so we are teaching it in a way that you can now apply it to any project in any climate zones, and you will get that good understanding, that good background knowledge that gives you that that ability. Then now a little bit of background for admin. So please, if you can, leave your cameras on in the Q&A sessions. That helps me to get to know you, and I'm not talking to a black screen, and also helps you to form a little bit more of a class bond, yeah, a peer group. Obviously, put your camera off if it's inappropriate, or if you need a second that you need to be not interrupted, that's fine. But in generally, I would appreciate your cameras on. Keep your microphones off. Like in a Q&A session, obviously we have a bit of a mix where I want some interaction, but obviously we have to be courteous to others and listen to them when they want to talk. So keep your microphones off then, and then turn it on when you want to say something and ask your question. Otherwise, you can engage with us in other ways. You can show us your thumbs up or thumbs down, either your real thumbs, or in Zoom, there's also an option to give me the virtual thumb up. So sometimes I might ask a question where I need your confirmation, and then that's a good way to quickly interact with me. And then what Daniel said before, let people know where you're from by changing your name. So I've already done that in mine. I said I sit here in WA in Spearwood. So you can hover over your name on the Zoom call. There's these 3 little dots, and there it says rename. And then you can put your name in it and your suburb, and you might see that someone's from around the corner, as Daniel said before, and you can meet up, maybe even for a coffee in real time. So that would be good, and people know where we're from and what different time zones we're in. Good. And this is Daniel here showing you where to what to do in our Q&A sessions. So when we have questions, because we will probably be around, like I've counted, there were about 20 to 25 people interested in this Q&A session. So if we really have that many, it's easier if you raise your hand, and that's your virtual hand. So on your screen at the bottom right, you find reactions, and then press raise hand. And then we will see you. You come to the first on the page, and I will see you, and I will also see who raised their hand first. And that will help me organize to answer the questions and get everyone, give everyone a go. You can also post your questions in the chat. That way the other people can have the opportunity to reply, or I might have to reply then later, but you don't forget it. Good. The other reactions are just for fun. You can have a go at them. On the background, no filming, screen capture, or recording allowed. You have other recordings anyway, so don't worry about that one. But what I wanted to say is please respect each other, respect the teachers, the other students. Keep this a confidential and safe space, and make sure that everyone feels supported when they're asking their questions. There are no silly questions or stupid questions. We are here to answer all the questions, and please feel safe to ask your questions. Don't feel embarrassed or something. This is a place where you should be able to ask all your questions that you have. And if we find that someone isn't keeping with this policy, then we may ask them to leave, but we never had to do that. We always had awesome students. Good. Now I want to ask you a permission to challenge you. So this is a challenging course. It's intellectually, emotionally, mentally, and physically challenging. You will see there's a lot of content physically because you're sitting in front of your computer a lot. Now, another one here, knowledge is power. So you've probably heard about this. Knowledge is power is a little saying that people say, but I wanted to know from you, is knowledge really power? Think about that. Do you think knowledge is power?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Yes.
Now I challenge you already. Do you have something that is bothering you? Yeah. Do you have something that you don't like? So something that maybe you think you could do better. And do you know what to do to change it? Like for me, it would be, I would like to be more physically active. I know what I need to do to change it. I'd have to get up an hour earlier in the morning. I'm not doing that. So why don't you just change it? So what I wanted to say with that is that only applied knowledge is power. Yeah, so this is only part of it. You have to apply your knowledge for that to be power. So if you're gaining all this knowledge in the course, but you never apply it to your projects, then that's not power. So what we want is, we want you to gain the knowledge and apply it. So if you have wings, but you don't use them, you will fall and not fly. So please apply your knowledge in your everyday life after you've learned this. Go to your projects differently, look at them differently, and apply all that knowledge to your project.
So if you know people that could benefit from this course, maybe you want to write down their names and reach out to them, and maybe they could even join you now, and you're having a study buddy to actually do that. Because yeah, this course is really unique, and you will see that even if you've done a lot of stuff before in sustainability and studying, especially WIG, you will see this course gives you a completely different understanding. I've done already Passivhaus for 10 years when I did the designer course. And for me, it was these puzzle pieces, putting it together. So this course gets you ahead of everything. So that's what I wanted to say. Bring it together as well. I love the diversity that we're having in here and the health aspect that we talked about. I've heard so many stories of people living in passive houses or close to passive house, where it completely turned their health around. Asthma, sinuses, infections, allergies, stuff like that has a really, really strong impact. And we're spending over 50% in our homes. So it's something that really has an impact.
Good. So as Daniel said, we're a bit over time because we're usually planning to keep this in an hour, but because this is a lot of you guys, took a little bit longer. If you want to leave now, that's fine. If you want to stay for another 5 minutes or so, I want to show you the platform a little bit. So if you're already familiar with the platform and you know where to go, then you can leave, and I'll see you next week on Monday, same time, for the Q&A for the module 1. So please listen to module 1 until then. Ideally, do your homework and exercises, write down any questions you have, send them to me, and then we meet on Monday again. And if you want, I can show you now a little bit around the platform as well. Okay, cool. I'll share my screen again. Share screen.
And if you're having an appointment that you have to go to and run, we share this recording with you anyway.
Yes, as well. Yeah. So we share the recording. No worries. Good. So what I wanted to share with you here is our platform, because for some of you, it might be new and not so familiar yet. So the first thing I wanted to show you is the group. So the group is for our current students. We have the current designer trade students and our alumni. So once you finish the course, you go into the alumni. And in this Passivhaus designer students, that's the platform to communicate with each other. And I hope this works now, because it's been really slow before. That's my computer. Yeah, that's okay. So you can see here, Laura was asking a question. Amy was joining. So you can see everyone in here. That's a student. And please share your questions. Yeah. So and answer the question. If you know it, answer the question already. But I'm trying to stay on top of all the questions and answer them. Sometimes I will send a video. Sometimes I will send a little text. And Daniel has shared a video here as well. So this is a good way to also be in touch with each other, or maybe say, hey, I didn't understand task 1, and then someone else says, hey, I've already solved it. So please use that as your way to communicate with each other. So that's our group. So you find that in my groups and then in the designer group. And then in your courses, okay, so that's the next tab you need. And I'll open that here. Sorry that it takes a while to load. I thought I'll pre-open it, but it doesn't seem to help. Sorry, guys. What is happening? Taking a bit long. So in your courses, if you're going to here, my courses, you will see all the courses that you are enrolled in. Now, obviously, I'm enrolled in a lot of courses, but you should see this designer course package. That's your main one. Yeah, so that's what you purchased. That's your main course that you've got in there. And that's where you find 90% of the information you need. Okay. There's another one that's called the Passivhaus Basics that will be renamed in the next few days or so. It'll probably be called Passivhaus 101, but that's the one that's our pre-course. So that's also one that you could watch before next week. That gives you a little bit of basic knowledge about Passivhaus. So if you can watch that one and module 1, that's great. Some of you may have already watched this pre-course. It's me going through the content a little bit slower and a little bit more basic format, explaining some formulas already and explaining some wording. So that's a good one to get you up to speed if you feel like you need a little bit of extra sort of help before the course. And then otherwise, you go to your module 1. Yeah, so in my courses, in that package, you come to module 1. Actually, yeah, that's this one here in the package. So once you open the package, you have different options here. Sorry, guys, taking a little bit. I'm not sure why this is taking so long. So anyway, in there you will find first a welcome and what to expect. So a little bit of instructions. And then on the side here, you find all your modules. Yeah, you can see there's videos. So you don't have to look through the flipbook. The flipbook is just there for you to support you if you want to read something up, but everything is available as a recording, because we've had students that said, oh, I've looked through the flipbook, and I said, oh, didn't you find the recording? So the recordings are there for you to listen to the whole course, and I will go through all the slides. Yeah, so like I did today, this morning, I will talk to the slides in that recording, and you can go through that one bit by bit. So module 1 would be the one that you please do before the next Q&A. So click on that. I'll try opening that as well. And then in that module, there's 8 units. So look at the units bit by bit. Each of them is less than 30 minutes. So you can really time that. Maybe you do one every evening or whenever you have time, or you're saying, I'd rather do it all on the weekend. I set Saturday aside or Sunday aside, something that suits you best. That's why we did this format where everyone can really sort of manage their own time. So you can see here, it's now module, a pre and a review. That would be from the pre-course. And then here we have our modules, our units. So 8 units, as I said. And then after the units, there's the flipbook. So if you wanted to look something up, it's just the slides. And then you have some additional learning material where we've just shared some resources. Then you have your exercise and your homework review, meaning that that's the recordings of how I'm solving the exercises in the homework. So ideally, you download your exercise and homework flipbook or the PDF. I'll show you in a second where you find the PDF. Do your exercises and homework yourself. Maybe you can, you can do a mix. Maybe for the exercises first, maybe you want to watch how I do the exercise, but then do the homework by yourself. And then if you're not quite sure how to solve it, you can watch the video and see all the solutions through it. So the exercises and homework will be a mixture between multiple choice questions and calculations, similar to what you can expect in the exam. So it's already a preparation. From the first module, we prepare you also for the exam. Okay, so it's a learning journey where we're not saying, oh, first you learn the content and then we do the exam stuff. We're doing that all at once so that by the end of it, you already know so much that you're sort of very confident for that exam. Good. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, so that's all in your My Courses. And then the last one I wanted to show you is the My Documents. Yeah, so if you purchased your course online, you have here in My Documents all the documents to download. Yeah, so in here you find your formula sheet, which is one of the main ones that I would definitely print out. And if you can print it out in color, then even better, because we color coded it for a reason. And that will be your main help throughout the course, throughout the exam, and even afterwards. So use that, use it to your advantage, make notes on it, use it while you do the course, because you can bring that to the exam. It's an open book exam. You don't need to memorize the formulas. You can bring that along. So that'll help you a lot. So that's the one that I would definitely print. And then we have here the homework and exercises. So that's the PDFs with the tasks. So you can print that, do your tasks, and then watch the videos afterwards. And then mock-up exam, we will talk about that a little bit later. When it comes a bit closer to the exam, we can talk about the exam. We don't need to do that yet. Thank you so much for joining me. It was such a pleasure meeting you all, and how engaged you are, how excited you are, how much passion you have for this. You can probably see that our team has that same passion, and we really want to make things right. Please let us know if there's any questions, even between now and next week. Send us an email, send us a group chat. We're here to help you. And then otherwise, I'll see you next Monday. Please do your module 1, do your homework, and send me the questions. And then we'll talk all about the opaque building envelope. I'm looking forward to that. All right. See you all then. Bye, guys. Bye. Have a good evening.